Hello and welcome to the Superhero Hub. I'm Sam,
I'm not
and today we're going to be reviewing,
Iron Fist.
yeah, Iron Fist episode 3, Rolling Thunder Cannon Punch is the name of the episode. So you got to kind of figure. Well, actually, no, I was thinking this it could be like based on martial arts titles, but like the first two episodes didn't really reflect that. So yeah,
I'm sure it's some sort of martial arts, but the thing is, like, this is half the problem. Like, you name it like that, you think, oh, it's kind of a joke. Like, that's a stupid thing, right? But no, it's deadly serious. That's ridiculous.
right. So getting into this episode, it started with some people who I think it was speculated they were like police, but I don't think they were police because it's like someone. She said Colleen said something about the police kicking the door down. I was thinking they ain't police.
Oh, the people that broke in, I presumed they worked for Ward or the company.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know about that one. So anyway, they broke into Colleen's yard, and they're like, oh yeah, Dan has escaped, and she's like, nah, I haven't seen him. And then obviously is up in the ceiling, so
As you do.
she's kind of like, you can stay, but you got to be gone in the morning. That kind of classic thing. Um, in my opinion, I'd say she's probably the standout character.
I would say that's not saying much.
Yeah. The girls are kind of doing all right, but the guys are very like one-dimensional. Is that something you'd agree with?
Yeah, I mean, to a point, I don't. Yeah, I don't think the women are much better. I don't think anyone's particularly good on the show. I think because the sister, I have mixed feelings about. I think she's probably the most developed character on the show, but even then, I find her kind of frustrating because she's kind of played up as being the one that's actually more capable of the two. But if she was, surely she'd notice half the crap that's going on around her.
Yeah, it's interesting as well that I'd kind of figure she doesn't know about Harold still being
No.
alive, so it's kind of between Harold and Ward, and she hasn't kind of been let in on the secret.
Yeah.
She's kind of coming off Sinister. There's a lot of kind of emphasis on this pier warehouse deal going on, so Harold obviously wants to get hold of the warehouses. Ward doesn't really know why, and I mean, relaying back to Joy, I mean, there's not much you can say to her, but you got to figure it's something to do with the Hand. But you've got to think if the Hand's a criminal organisation, right? It's popped up a couple times.
The
What?
Hand, remind me, correct me if I'm wrong, were the Hand in Daredevil?
Yeah,
They were, yeah.
yeah. So like, my issue is why don't they just get the stuff themselves? Why do they need Harold and Rand Industries to get hold of it? It's like I swear they're like running like the heroin trade and stuff like that.
Yeah, I don't know, because they were, if I remember rightly, they were in like a criminal organisation thing,
Yeah,
like a network with
they're
the
kind
Kingpin, weren't they?
yeah they're kind of like the League of Assassins or League of Shadows in like DC thing, I
Right,
guess. But
but the head lady, whatever her name was, she was in the kind of like a group with like the Kingpin and some others.
yeah, and
So
she was like running like the heroin trade in Daredevil. So you got to
I,
figure that they've got cash. Why do they need them to
I,
acquire
I
the properties for them?
I don't know, but I would presume it's for the same reason she bothered to be in that group, as different people handle different things. So maybe that kind of whatever the peer is, what kind of business they're into, that it would be more prudent to have an official company do that work. But in reality, who knows? You know, it's plot shenanigans,
Yeah,
basically.
you got to figure it's smuggling. So, I mean, yeah, the girl kind of kicks him out, but it's like, look, I'm gonna pay you rent. I mean, I've got no assets, no money, but I'll pay you rent for a year. Just wait till Friday, whenever Friday is. You know what I mean? One of them ones. So he kind of, this guy who's broke turns up on Joy's doorstep and has somehow acquired a ton of oranges and
Hmm.
plants and stuff. So wherever he's kind of got that from, she's kind of like, look, 100 mil. fat cash, take it, change your name, walk away and stuff like that. It's like, that wasn't going to fly. It's like, especially when they're like, change your name, because this guy's got to be about legacy and stuff like that.
Of course, and see that's where I'm getting drawn in two different directions with the character, and I get the idea they're trying to portray her as being conflicted between her friend and her family. But if she really did care about this guy, he's back from the dead, and you're asking him to change his name, like, you must know he's not going to do that.
Yeah, I kind of thought she was like the brother was a waste man, and she was going to be like kind of alright, but I mean, she's kind of turned as well. She ain't so kind of cool being, do you know what I mean? So she has got a nice chandelier in her house, so she's got like a really long chandelier. I noticed that in the first episode. I was going to bring it up, but I didn't get around to it. So yeah, he kind of... What happens after that? He declines the offer, obviously, goes to the graveyard, and then finds out about Jenny Hogarth. Is that her name?
With the lawyer?
Yeah.
Let's say yeah.
He goes and finds a lawyer from Jessica Jones, convinces her that he is who he says he is, so she's obviously...
Yeah, by the way, like, this woman that he probably met a few times, he sold her on who he was far quicker than anyone else in the show.
This is why the kind of route he should have took with everyone else. Like,
right.
Look, here are specifics. I'm Danny Rand.
It took 2 episodes, nearly 2 hours, for him to convince everyone else, but this lady does it in 2 minutes.
Yeah. She seems an alright character. I kind of like her. So yeah, it's kind of him trying to like reclaim his company and stuff like that. But there's obviously with Colleen at her dojo is kind of turning up and is like, oh, you guys are whack.
Oh, this scene.
I liked it when
go on.
I liked it when he dropped the guy with his stick.
The scene for me that kind of encapsulated everything that's kind of frustrating me about it. He walks in and he's like, you chatter like monkeys.
Yeah.
And he's throwing out all this dodgy dialogue. And then
you punch like Lace Curtain.
Right, and he beats up these kids and he's all angry. Like, he's not likeable. A, because he's saying stupid stuff, and B, he's acting like a douche as well.
Yeah, but you got to think, like, is that because it's kind of been like away from civilization? Would you count that as him being kind of unsociable?
Yeah.
Antisocial.
But I get why he is the way he is, but the thing is, the way he is weird. And not in a funny way. Like, it's just doofy. He's saying these weird things.
Yeah, that was kind of cringe. I was like, oh my god.
It is. It's horrible to listen to.
So why wouldn't he just say you chatter like morons?
I don't know. I don't know.
So yeah, she kind of boots him out again, and then there's kind of a between her and the janitor or whatever, the sweeper, like he's taking part in underground fights and stuff like that. So I mean, she's bothered with Danny that he kind of is having a go at all the students, and there's like, oh, these kids go out and they get battered and bullied and stuff like that, and it's like they don't need you beefing with them as well. And it's like, oh, so let me guess, a couple of episodes down the line he trains them. Shock. But yeah, I do like her as a character. So yeah, it's kind of the kind of rest of the episode is kind of, I mean, he gets set up nice. I mean, the lawyer kind of gets him like a nice little apartment and stuff like that. He cuts his beard up, but then obviously Joy kind of turns sinister. I mean, if we get back to the pier deal, obviously Harold's like, look, you got to get this done, and then like you got to imagine the woman appeared, and she was like to him like, I'll get the job done. So obviously here's the hand's bitch, and then she makes him kneel in the glass, and he cuts his hand up. It's like, put your hand around the glass, moron. But I think maybe it was pitch black for him, but we could see.
Because Danny winds up going to, I presume, a hospital to get an X-ray or something of him as a kid, and it just so happens at the exact same time, he goes there to find it. There's some bloke presumably hired by the company to set fire to it.
Yeah, you'd think because obviously he unleashes the Iron Fist again, one bombs my man, but he still like gets up. You think he'd be spark out after that, but he gets up and tries to light the fire, which he obviously eventually does, and it's just like, yo, you think this Iron Fist, if he whacked him once, that'd be it, he'd be knocked out. So yeah, it's kind of him trying to like get evidence to prove that he is who he says he is, but obviously Ward or the Meachums, we'll call them, are trying to oppose that. And then you got Joy with it trying to like, and then Harold's like, oh yeah, get Joy involved to kind of solidify this peer deal. So she starts like bartering with young child's organs to kind of get the owner on board. So she's turned like real sinister. So it's like, I thought she's meant to be the likable one. You know what I mean, the kind of nice one. And then he kind of goes and Danny goes to like a restaurant and confronts him, and then she's like, oh yeah, we're not your family. So it's just like, oh, from being reasonably okay, she's just been to like, oh, forget about her, you know what I mean.
Yeah, and then she's like, oh, I feel guilty about it. It's like, why do you keep going both ways with this character? There's a difference between being conflicted and just being like Jekyll and Hyde.
I mean, for me, they've kind of ruined it. So yeah, and then you've got, for some reason, Colleen, even though she opposed these underground fights with the janitor, she turns up and starts boxing my man, who's buff. And like she just happens to pull out like the move Danny used on her earlier. They put a lot of emphasis on that, and then she starts. I like when she was smacking him in the face. It was actually like there was different kind of points of bleeding and stuff like that, as opposed to smacking him off screen and then him kind of at least there was a bit of blood splatter.
Yeah, it's okay. I still don't quite get it, but you know, maybe that'll explain it.
I guess she's fighting for money because she's broke. I think that's what they're all doing, because that's what the janitor said as well, because obviously she's struggling to pay her bills, so I mean, she better be hoping that Danny comes into that cash quick time.
Yeah, which he might do, I guess, because now right, here's what am I reading too much into it, or did Joy give Danny or the lawyer that thing that had his fingerprint on it?
I don't.
Because it was in her apartment, right?
Yeah.
And it looked at it, so presumably, like, she sent it to them.
Unless he slid it while he was there when he was walking out. I don't know. Maybe. No,
I don't think so.
Okay, then let's say, for example, that she kind of... It's interesting as well, because Ward and her had a discussion about him leaving Rand, and she was like, oh, I want to stay at the company. So whether she thinks, oh, I'll give that and I'll stay on as a company, because for some reason you got to think they've got some sort of stake in the company. Because obviously when they go to the lawyers' meeting, I mean, they kind of lay out the terms, and it's like, if he kind of, the estate is 51% of the company, so you got to think like somehow the Meachums have a part of it as well.
Oh yeah, they have the other 50 or 49, I guess, right?
Yeah,
because it was set up by Harold and Iron Fist's dad, right? So I guess
Wendell.
Yeah, so 51% belong to Wendell, presumably, and 49 to Harold. And seeing as Harold is dead, they must have the split shares of the other 49%.
Yeah. So yeah, he kind of gets his head about him and decides to follow Ward to like this penthouse where Harold's staying. Obviously he can't get in, so he ends up climbing up the building, as you do. What, you got something to say about that?
It just reminded me of a scene like before we get to the end. Why was Harold sleeping in like some weird like glass coffin thing? What was that?
I don't know. Maybe it's like a meditation thing, because it's like, I think he's a fighter as well, even though he's really like, from what I've seen, he's pretty whack, and it's like, yo, he needs to cut his hair. Whenever he does physical stuff, his like bit of hair starts flopping up and down in his face, and it's like,
he's a terrible character. He's a terrible character. But what?
He's got a funny voice.
Right, and he doesn't seem like a badass, and he keeps kicking people, and then he just seems so cliche. But it was like, I remember, and this was purely rumours, because we never really got confirmation either way. I think they denied it. But do you remember a few years back, a lot of years back, when those rumours went around about like Michael Jackson was sleeping in some sort of oxygen tank thing?
Yeah.
Like, is that what it is?
I don't know, because it's interesting. He said, oh, it's so peaceful in here. Sometimes I doze off. So it's like, what is it then? Is it him to sit and think and stuff like that, and he just happens to like fall asleep?
I don't know.
It's
I
weird.
have no idea. I thought it was very odd.
I think it's meant to be like a meditation chamber or something, because it's got a phone on it.
Mm.
You know what I mean? So yeah.
Oh yeah, but where were it? Yeah, so yeah, he was climbing up the building, right?
As you do. So he climbs up the building, gets to the top, somehow flicks a bit of something out of his pocket, opens up the window, and then boom, out the window, pushed off out the window. I mean, a lot of stuff happened in the episode. There was a fair amount happening, and obviously next episode it's going to be some sort of court drama thing going on.
Yeah.
So I mean, that might be good, but I
wanted to fight some people.
Yeah, I think that's like coming. You know what I mean? Because apparently it moves on a bit after the first 6 episodes, but the first 6 episodes
on the 6 episodes
are a bit slow.
We've had 3 episodes now. He's punched a wall and one man who got hurt right away. That's so lame.
Yeah, I think it's gonna kick off, but I mean, this episode was good, right?
If we're getting into numbers, I'll go 6.5. It's the best out of the 3 of them, but the weaknesses are still there, and the flawed characters.
Yeah, I'll give it a 6. I say the standout character is Colleen. She's the best character. Sort Joy out. You know what I mean?
Make your mind up. Is she evil? Is she not?
Yeah, and let's see like Harold do something.
I mean, honest to God, Ward is more likable than her at the minute, but at least he's consistent.
Yeah,
and at least I kind of get his thing. Like, he's downbeat, like he wants to impress his dad, but he never can. I get him. I don't get her at all.
Harold needs to pull his finger out his batty, because to be honest, he's not going to be able to do anything. It's not even. It can be like, I don't know, Malcolm Merlin in Arrow, where he's like walking about in his outfit and stuff like that. It's like that guy's, because you got the woman coming down on him. He's stuck. He's stuck in that penthouse, so they're kind of making him some sort of like puppet master and stuff like that, but he's stuck in the penthouse.
Right, Malcolm Merlin has charisma. This dude doesn't.
So yeah, hopefully, I think next episode, I mean, if it is going to kind of, we'll see you in court.
I didn't scream action, did it?
No, that's what I mean. So yeah, who knows? We'll have to see what happens, but don't forget to like, share, subscribe. I'm Sam.
I'm Matt.
And this has been our review for the 3rd episode of Iron Fist. This is a Superhero Hub.